Welcome to Hornbill TV. This is your anchor Kekrizanyo Solo. Time for the prime time bulletin. Naga People's Front President and former Chief Minister of Nagaland Sir Jose Liu on Saturday said that the Forest Amendment Bill 2023 is dangerous for Nagas. Strongly reacting to the call of one-day Manipur Assembly session, the main opposition party said that a single-day session is not fair and is not in the interest of the public. That is why it is unacceptable. The India Cup in London, with its early roots in the Indian independence movement and as a hub for nationalists including Krishna Menon, will shut down on September 14th after losing a protracted battle against its closure. After successfully placing a lander on the moon's uncharted South Pole, the Indian Space Research Organization is likely to launch the country's maiden solar mission Aditya L1 on September 2. Now for the news in details. Naga People's Front President and former Chief Minister of Nagaland Sir Jose Liu on Saturday said that the Forest Amendment Bill 2023 is dangerous for Nagas. Therefore, the Statement Assembly should not go into the merits and demerits of the Act but directly say no to it. Liu said this while speaking to reporters on the sideline of the Tenyimi Student Union Dimapur program in Chumukedima. Let us have a look at the details.
In Nagaland, the ownership of land is peculiar, you all know. And therefore this Forest Act is very, that is something which we cannot accept. Even if it is imposed, it will create big problem in Nagaland. And so, without going into the particulars, it is better for the Naga people to say no to it straight away, without going to the merit and demerit of the case. We have to say no, because it is not in our line. It can be law, but even law also cannot be imposed in a matter like this. Your land is your property. You have land. You have nothing. Your land is your property, your wealth. If your right is taken away over it, you cannot remain silent because it is law. So for the Nagas, this is very dangerous. But Nagas will never yield. Even in the long run, Nagas will never yield. That much I know. Nagaland, we have our political problem. Sometimes we have to think in terms of those going on problems. We cannot just take things like Forest Act or like Uniform Civil Act as the final, because time may come when we can change by ourselves all these rules. Because Nagas, you all know that by nature, Nagas are very independent. And therefore, even the act is there, they go their own way sometimes. So the earlier one is also not effective. But the government is also helpless. No?
Moving on to the next news. Strongly reacting to the call of one-day Manipur Assembly session, the main opposition party said that a single-day session is not fair and is not in the interest of the public. That is why it is unacceptable. Congress leader and three-times Chief Minister O. Ibobi Singh said that they have requested the governor to have the assembly at least for 5 days. Singh also said they are not satisfied with the reason given by the state government that the session will only be 1 day due to the prevailing situation. He asked what discussion could be held in a single day, as obituary references is already listed. other business of the House cannot be taken up. Ibobi Singh also said the governor should have mentioned if it was an emergency session and stated that the manner in which the session was called is a blatant violation of conduct of business and rules of procedure.
The representative of the Congress party, we could accept the proposed time allocation of the upcoming ensuing monsoon session. Why? We request at least minimum 5 days should be time allocation should be. But they said that because of this present prevailing situation, we will sit only 1 day. Then what we'll discuss there only 1 day. There is obituary references there. Normally, if there is obituary references there, the other business could not be taken up. Therefore, I request, I appeal, I suggest that at least minimum 5 days, but they are not accept. Therefore, I have given a clear dissent note. 1 day session is not in the interest of the public. Therefore, I could not accept your time allocation provision for coming ensuing assembly session. Therefore, I have given my dissent note. We cannot accept it. So you have decided whether it is unconstitutional or not. But as we have already explained, including to our former speaker, Sri Lokeshwar Singh, what he said that if it is emergency or urgent session, why at the time of summoning of the Honorable Governor, she should have to be mentioned. But just like a Norman session, he just simply summoned this session of the 12th Manipur Legislative Assembly's 4th session. She did not mention, you can see in the order. Therefore, right from the very beginning, they are violating the ground rule and this rule of business and the conduct of business and rule of procedure. So they have already, right from the very beginning, they have started violating all those rules of the assembly. Therefore, we are discussing now, we will decide shortly.
Okay. What will be the stand of the Congress party?
Stand?
No. The Congress party will attend the session?
No, that is too early to say, to reply. Whether shall we attend the ensuing assembly 1 day session or not, we will decide.
Time for a short break. We'll be back with more news.
Deal weekly lottery kini bi 6 taka te aro chitibo pare 1 crore khali 6 taka Dear hafta lottery bodli kori dibo apni jiban.
Welcome back. Moving on to the next news. The outgoing Naga Students Federation President Kekwa Hyun Tep and General Secretary Supuni N.J. Philo, while speaking to Hornbill TV prior to the 30th conference of NSF, said they amid unrest in Manipur, the Federation has chosen Ukhrul as the conference location to the team Solidarity Beyond Borders, to show and send message the neighboring state and the rest of the world that Nagas are united despite divisions by artificial boundary. They also say that through the conference of the NSF wants to show its solidarity to the indigenous people who are becoming foreigners in their own land.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining Hornbill TV. Firstly, how significant is this Naga Students Federation 38th conference here in Ukhrul in turbulent times like this? Is this the way of NSF trying to send out a message of peace by holding a conference here in Ukhrul?
Despite the prevailing situation in Manipur state and other circumstances, we have decided to have our conference here in Ukhrul to show to our neighbors and to show to the rest of the world that Nagas are united despite all the circumstances which is and the situation which is prevailing particularly in Manipur state. We have chose our team Solidarity Beyond Borders to make known and to give a message that Nagas are united, knowing the fact that artificial boundaries cannot demarcate or divide the Nagas, and Naga Students Federation will always stand for its motto, that is unified limb and glory of Nagas.
So is this the first time that NSF is having a conference here in Ukhrul, or how many times has it been? And also, do you plan to include Nagas from Myanmar, Arunachal and Assam as well in the next conference?
No, this is not the first time having a conference here in Ukhrul. We have the Tangkhul community under the banner of Tangkhul Katamnau Saklon, TKS, the apex students body of the Tangkhul community. They have hosted Naga Students Federation and the entire Naga people 30 years back, and we are happy that they could have us again in this Ukhrul town. And perhaps we are inclusive, and we have our conference here, and we are inviting all our Nagas, even in Myanmar, in Arunachal Pradesh, in Assam. So all the Nagas will be participating in this conference.
Okay. So how does the NSF look at the division that exists among the Nagas today, especially in the context that today there are roughly 18 to 19 factions all working for the Naga cause? So do you think that these divisions will bring the solution early, or is it delaying the solution?
I think no Naga leaders will appreciate the division within Naga family. And Naga Students Federation, as always, we have been appealing to all the national workers to come together, to unite together, and to fight for Naga rights. And it is always the intention and approach of NSF to bring all the Naga people, not only the national workers, but all the civil society organizations to come together. And with this conference, we are giving a clarion call to all the Naga leaders and Naga citizens that it is time for us to reason out and sort out our differences and come together as one Naga. And Naga Students Federation will always stand for one Naga.
Okay, so why did the NSF choose to take the conference here in Ukhrul this time, and resonating with your team Solidarity Beyond Borders? Can you elaborate us more on that?
The Naga people takes pride in the fact that we are one nation, one people. However, the artificial boundary that was forcefully enforced upon us, if I were to say, that was enforced upon us by the superior authorities, had done much damage towards the Naga society. We are no longer divided just on boundary lines, but also on emotional lines. Now, when we say solidarity beyond borders, we can foresee and we can see the difficulties that our Naga people, particularly in the state of Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Burma, and Assam are undergoing because of them being minority in that area. However, NSF still considers them as our own people. One people, one nation continues to remain our team. Now, when we say solidarity beyond borders, it encompasses two parts. The first is the brotherhood, the relationship that we share with our Naga brothers. The second is the threat of that is coming towards our indigenous people due to influx of illegal immigrants or other areas. So when we say solidarity beyond borders, we not only stand in solidarity with our own Naga brothers, but also with the entire indigenous community of the northeastern states. So the actual motive behind NSF choosing the theme is to show our solidarity and to extend, to take forth the principle of one nation, one people, and also extend our solidarity and our respect towards the indigenous people who are losing their grounds, who are becoming foreigners in their own land.
Lastly, sir, what specific and practical outcomes do you expect from this conference, given the fact that the elected student leadership, both from Manipur and Nagaland, and also not just the students, but elected government leaders, both from Manipur and Nagaland, are also partaking in this conference?
The fact that all the elected student leaders as well as the elected legislators of Naga areas beyond artificial boundaries are partaking in the fact in this conference symbolizes that Nagas are still one people and we aspire to be one nation. Yes, practically speaking, the divisive forces has been able to segregate us into Manipur, Nagaland, Assam, Burma or Arunachal Pradesh. Now when you are asking me about the practical result that we expect, I think the program itself has already shown that shown what we want to achieve. We want to unify the people, we want to unify the Naga people as a whole. And yes, we admit that it might not be possible in the short run, but in the long run, hopefully this little seed that we have sown today in Ukrul will be able to bring in something which will be able to unify the people in letter, in spirit.
Time for a short break. We'll be back with more news.
दुनिया ते थाक्या साफा पानी कुंतु खाली 0.3% असे इदु तो खाली खाउले गर्ने एकला नहोय इदु साफा पानी तो आमी खान एग्रीकल्चर ते खाव सामान खान ओलाउले गर्ने बि चलाय आरो इदु पानी खान वाइल्ड लाइफ सपोर्ट करे एकता हेल्दी फंक्शनिंग इकोसिस्टम दिवो गर्ने इदु गर्ने पानी खान तु पोल्यूशन फ्री राखियो लागे आरो आमी खान लगा वेस्ट खान मिसामिशी रिवर बैंक्स खानते नफेलाउले लागे कुंतु प्रा पानी पोल्यूट करे दे साल 2019 ते सरकार प्रा जल शक्ति अभियान लॉन्च कुरिशे नेशन वाइड वाटर कंजर्वेशन कैंपेन ते कुंतुप्रा सिटीजन्स खान के पानी कंजर्व करोले इनकरेज करे ग्रास रूट लेवल ते प्रा इदु साल जल शक्ति अभियान प्रा रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग स्ट्रक्चर्स खान क्लाइमेट कंडीशंस हिसाब ते कुरुले इनकरेज कुरिशे साल 2021 ते इदु स्कीम खान एकता प्रिपरेटरी स्टेप लॉन्च कुरिशे जल शक्ति अभियान कैच द रेन कैंपेन को इकिना कुंतु एकता मैसिव अवेयरनेस ड्राइव असे नेहरू युवा केंद्र संगठन लोगो कोलैबोरेट करिकिना इदो कैंपेन ते देश लगा 623 डिस्ट्रिक्ट
Welcome back. The 38th NSF General Conference concluded on Saturday with dignitaries from Nagaland and Manipur as attendees. Nagaland MLA Achumbe Mokikon, who was one of the special guests at the conference, spoke to Hornbill TV on a number of issues. On Manipur conflict, he said that Nagaland's only appeal to both Métis and Kukizos is to resolve the issue amicably through dialogue. Stating that violence only begets violence, Kikon said Naga people want to remain friendly with all its neighboring communities by understanding each other's position. He also showed solidarity from non-Nagas on Naga political issue. On Nagaland having an oppositionless government, he said even though they are in the same government, the party will keep raising issues which are beneficial for the people. He said they will insist to debate on issues such as UCC and Forest Amendment Act that have far-reaching consequences on the people. Meanwhile, MLA Juenga Sep, while congratulating the new team and expressing his support to the cause of the Naga Students Federation, said that he was there to show his solidarity. He also mentioned that Rengmas got the chance to carry on the presidency after 75 years of its existence.
So how significant is this Naga Students Federation that's being held here in Ukhrul in turbulent times like this? How do you view this situation as of now?
Well, firstly, I would like to thank you, Hornbill TV, for having me here. As far as this NSF conference is concerned, I think we are talking about uniting beyond borders. NSF is for all the Nagas, irrespective of artificial boundaries. We are meant to be living together, and our strive is that we celebrate the unique heritage that we have, and also we should work towards the dream where all the Nagas will come united together, live and stay as one nation, one people. So in light of that, having a conference like this, I believe this is the 30th NSF General Conference. Now, the TKS has kindly come forward to host this NSF conference. So that is why this is very important for uniting the Nagas. And also, the reason why I'm here today is to show my solidarity that I am also for the NSF 100%. Even though my association with the NSF cannot be seen, but then I'm a silent observer and a follower of this NSF since long. So that is why I'm very excited, I'm very happy to be attending and also to accompany my friend, Honorable MLA Achumbe Kikong, for he has the main role to play in this NSF conference. I mean, NSF, this strive for uniting the people. So as his entourage, I'm as excited as a special guest. So this, I feel, is very significant in that way. And also, I would like to say that after 75 years, we, the Rengmas, were also given a chance to become the president of the esteemed NSF president. And that is not a small thing for us. So in light of this, I'm so excited. And I also would like to congratulate the incumbent president, Mr. Kagwai Huntep, and his team for successfully completing their tenure, uniting every federating unit under NSF umbrella, and having to host this 30th NSF General Conference. So my visiting today and also to come along with my friend is just to show my solidarity in that line.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for giving your time to Hornbill TV. Sir, firstly, as a former NSF president, what are your expectations for the new leadership? And then, how significant is this 30th NSF conference that's being held here in Ukhrul in turbulent times like this?
Well, as my friend has said, the present tenure has worked so hard to keep the Naga people intact, and I must congratulate them for successfully completing their tenure. Through this 30th General Conference, now their tenure will come to an end. A new leadership will be installed. That is how NSF function. And I'm looking forward that whoever takes over will definitely, give up the spirit of oneness amongst the Nagas and the endeavor of the NSF to bring all Nagas together, irrespective of the artificial geographical boundaries that has divided Nagas so far. And this conference is significant in a sense that it is being held here in Ukhrul, where, after 30 years, conference is coming back to Ukhrul. sometime in 1993, the general conference was held here. So I'm sure that the people are also excited here. As seniors, as someone who has served this platform for in the capacity of president in the past, I'm really excited to come as one of the guests today, as an elected member also, and as a former president. So it's significant in many ways.
Okay, sir. So does the Nagaland political leadership see the Manipur issue, which has the potential to affect the Naga people in the long term, as an issue exclusive only to the Manipur government and the central leadership?
Well, it's a little complicated matter. It involves quite a big spectrum of issues as well as people. Our only appeal to the conflicting group, both the Kukis and the Meiteis, is to open up a dialogue and resolve the issues amicably, because violence begets only violence. We must strive for peace, all of us. And for the political leadership in Nagaland, we have been appealing to both the group as well as the government of Manipur that an amicable solution should be arrived at without entangling or engaging into a violent means of resolving the issue. So this is what we are appealing, and we are hoping that hopefully this issue will resolve. For the Naga people, our hope and our appeal is we wanted to be friendly with all our neighboring communities by understanding each other's position. And we are also aware that our other non-Naga communities are also, in the know of the Naga political issue, how long we have struggled, and therefore we look for their solidarity as the NSF conference is held here in Uku.
Sir, talking a little bit about Nagaland politics, the NBF has agreed to support the Rio-led government, making Nagaland an opposition-less government. What would you like to say for an opposition-less government?
Well, it has both advantage as well as disadvantage, that is for sure. But on the floor of the House, you have seen us. We, keep pointing out which are good for our people, and that has been very well, accepted. I mean, that idea has been very receptive to the leadership in the government also, and definitely whatever is good for our people will carry those activities together. Wherever there is anything to be corrected, definitely, even though we are in the same government, as a party, we have a different entity as NBF, so definitely we will try to, raise those issues that are good, beneficial for our people.
Sir, will NBF, even though in support of Rio-led government, will play a constructive role in taking government policies, as NBF has, condemned the UCC, and just recently, NBF MLA Azonino, he has called for a special session to repeal the Forest Amendment Act.
You are right, correct. We are definitely, interested to debate on this Uniform Civil Code as well as the Forest Act, which has been recently passed in the Parliament. The Assembly session in Nagaland is called on the 11th of September. It may continue for 1 or 2 days, and there is a rules within the Assembly, functioning. So definitely we will write to the Speaker and see that those issues which are, which will have far-reaching consequences for our people will definitely insist for debate and find a kind of solution, an idea where those will not have an impact, a negative impact on our people.
That is all we have for this bulletin. Keep watching Hornbill TV.
दुनियाते थाक्या साफा पानी कुंतु खाली 0.3% আছে ইদুটো খালি খাউলে গনে একলা নহয় ইদু সাফা পানি তু আমি খান এগ্রিকালচার তে খাও সামান খান ওলাউলে করনে বি চলাই আৰু